Wow. Okay, spoiler alert. Might be the most blatant ableism I've ever heard in my life. I'm not sure. This is just the facts. Lifting Vegan Logic. I saw this on his channel. Shout out. Got to shout at you fellow vegans. Yeah, I've already seen parts that Lifting Vegan Logic went through, but I'd like to go through the whole thing. Concerning the things that I heard. Don't know about you if you've, heard this already. Appreciate you listening in again. Damn. Right, let's go.
Veganism. Undoubtedly one of the most annoying moral crusades of all time. Wherever you go, wherever you are, vegans will follow with their moral arguments, their health arguments, and their climate arguments, trying to get you to accept the good word of their Lord and Savior, vegan ideology.
What? Firstly, we might be really annoying and follow people about, but that's because non-veganism is everywhere. Animal abuse, animal exploitation, animal torture, and animal killing is everywhere. And I don't know what is more annoying. Being followed about. I mean, you're not really, you know what I mean? But, people online being like, by the way, this is wrong. Or people being on the street and being like, you want to see this? Look at this, it's wrong, you pay for it. Yeah, annoying. You know what's probably more annoying? Being killed. Having your babies taken away from you. Bit annoying. Being mutilated, branded. Having your freaking nuts chopped off. I don't even have balls, but be a bit annoying if I did and they got freaking taken away. Freaking ripped off without anesthetic. Just a bit annoying, nah? Wrecked.
The sensible thing to do with these people, just like with any other preachers, is to avoid them at all costs. But seeing as
you can avoid us, but you can't avoid the arguments, okay? They'll eat you up alive, okay? They will genuinely eat you up to the point where you start making a case for what you make a case for, my dude.
I've already thrown sensibility out the window by making this video, we might as well engage with vegan arguments in a semi-serious manner. Once we do, we find something shocking. Unlike the Mormons, these missionaries have some well-thought-out arguments with what appears to be solid moral backing.
I love it when people equate or compare, equate veganism to religion. It's who the bloody hell? I know he said our great Lord and Savior, the vegan ideology, or whatever he said. But actually, what is our, when we're talking about, a religion, where's the faith? Where's the deity? Who am I supposed to be worshipping? Other than, Elwood's dog meat? I don't know. Is that my god? Right.
There are a lot of arguments surrounding veganism, so for this video we'll be sticking to the moral ones. We'll start by laying out what their arguments are exactly, we'll pass judgment on these puny mortals, and then we'll make it extremely clear why I'm right and everyone who doesn't agree with me is wrong. If this sounds interesting to you, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications when future videos come out. All of this really helps the channel. So let's lay out the moral argument for veganism in all its glory. The main point of it is that with every ounce of meat you buy and eat, you are supporting an industry that hurts and kills billions of animals every year, and you should stop doing that. These are sentient creatures with the capacity to feel.
Why is he saying it in that voice? Oh, billions of animals are being killed. Oh, some would say, billions of animals are being killed and they're sentient beings. We're gonna find out just how void of empathy this dude is, okay? We're gonna find out as we go, okay? It's numbingly I just can't. It's numb. Just cringe. Yeah, cringe alert. It's gonna be a lot of cringe.
Feel pain and familial ties. Regardless of whether they're as intelligent as a human or not, their pain still means something and we should minimize it. Plus, they're as intelligent as cats and dogs, and we all hate when people do violence against them. You might say, oh, I only buy free-range organic local meat, but the answer to that is 1, it's statistically unlikely that you're telling the truth, and 2, this doesn't change the fact that on average, billions of animals are having their lives cut dramatically short, often in incredibly cruel ways. This is documented in the film Dominion and other slaughterhouse footage. Egg-laying chickens, for instance. They only belong to a few breeds and they only need females to lay eggs, so the vast majority of male chicks belonging to these breeds are crushed.
I wonder how empathetic he is to other humans. Painfully unempathetic, and we're about to find out these hot takes that you have to be consistent. Woof!
To death in hydraulic presses. Worldwide, this happens to 7 billion chicks per year. And how about milk? That's pretty innocent, right? Well, cows only make milk when they're pregnant, and they don't do it that often naturally. So farmers have to artificially impregnate them by sticking a syringe up in there. Now, considering cows can't communicate consent, we could see this as being similar to a certain R word that I can't say unless I want the algorithm to kill me.
You know what, like, I just want to say it right now. I'm actually kind of glad that this video exists. Because this dude makes a really good case for the vegan argument and explains some of the things that, you know, people might think, you know, oh, dairy's harmless, dairy's fine. And then explains why, oh yeah, no, not good. And then he goes on to say the shit that he goes on to say. And I'm really worried who those 977 people are who like this video. You gave me some... Oh, interesting new arguments against veganism. I know a handful of people who have used these arguments, but oof.
So, in order to stand against the vegan moral argument, you have to say that billions of animals deserve to be tortured, killed as babies, pounded into a fine pink paste, and roped, solely so you can have a nice steak dinner with a cool glass of milk. And now I'm gonna completely dunk on all the vegans still watching this by saying, yes! They deserve to die! All of them! That's right. Libtards destroyed. And now I'm gonna switch to a more accurate depiction of a vegan so as to make it absolutely clear which side of the debate this video is coming down on. So what philosophical argument...
So, you just made a really good case for why, like, we ought not do so. And then he's like, actually, no, they deserve it. Hell yeah. I mean, he uses a meme, but... to be honest with you, what he follows with just demonstrates it wasn't a meme. Pain.
Allows me to justify the killing of billions of innocent of sentient beings. Bonum utile. Latin
this is cringe, by the way.
Good use.
Yeah, no, that's Latin for cringe.
This concept comes to us from the philosophers Aristotle and St. Thomas Aquinas, which means the vegans definitely shouldn't fuck with us as we have the power of God and Olympus on our side. The idea is that all things have their place in the world and should be used solely for that place and role. You wouldn't use an axe to cut your steak or slice your tofu, as the case may be. No, the happy axe chops, as they say.
Imagine the what a wonderful and free world that is if someone assigns a purpose to you and you have to just fulfill that. You want a purpose thrown on you and that you just have to assign that. So it's like when people go, oh well, they're meant to be and they're born to do that. You know, they're raised for food. And then in the debates where that happens, I ask them, so you believe that, like, if we assign a purpose to an individual, it's justified for that purpose to be fulfilled on the basis that it is indeed their apparent purpose? This dude would go, yeah. Huh. Oh, God, no, that can lead to horrific outcomes. Oh, like, well, I mean, dogs, food. They're just food, man. They're just food. Okay, I assign the purpose now that these Pomeranians are for my dog eggs. Okay? That's what they're for. And if they're lads, I'm just gonna grind them up alive. That's their purpose, dude. This is the world we live in. I assigned a purpose to these doggos. Oh, God, it's pain.
And we can apply this to people as well. Society should make avenues such that someone who would most naturally be an artist doesn't end up as a carpenter, and someone who would most naturally be a bricklayer doesn't end up as king. Everything has an optimal use and shouldn't be taken outside.
I don't even know how you'd fucking measure this. Like, what about people who have multiple talents? Maybe they are better at bricklaying, but they really do like art. In his world, you got bricklay, man. You're good at bricklaying. Fuck whether or not you enjoy art. That's what you should be doing. You're bricklaying. What kind of fucking weird world does this dude want? What is this weird thing about, like, purpose, assign the purpose, fulfill the purpose? It's like, just because your life is likely, I mean, where is this coming from? Is it coming from like feeling like you don't have a purpose, worrying where your purpose comes from, and you're just maybe projecting that literally onto everybody else in such an invasive way? Damn. Like, even in the human context, your freedom of choice is heavily violated based upon your skills. And that leads to some terrible, avenues where someone doesn't have skill sets, or, they don't conduct themselves in the way that the neurotypical person does. Where does that leave them? Well, we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out.
Side of it for its good and society as a whole. This principle should guide our society and its organization totally, as it puts society first. Through this lens, every individual...
They're like, society first. Like, what is this? Like, for me, a society is only as good as, like, the individuals within it. Like, how they're, how free they are, how happy they are, how fulfilled they are. And if you just force people into roles that, they're good at, but they don't want to do, that just leads to, like, miserable people. Like, what good is the society, really, if the individuals within it just can't really do what they're passionate about? Insofar as it doesn't violate others' rights. Yeah? There's got to be some sort of limit, but the limit being, well, you're not good at it. Like, what? I don't get it. This leads to, like, heavy damn ableism.
Through this lens, every individual, every material possession is valued for how it can contribute to society, making us far better off collectively.
But then that's not a freedom, is it? If you're what you're good at and your freedom is contingent upon how good you are at that skill, and then he was like, oh, well, you want to have a society that ensures that the bricklayer who's good at bricklaying is doing that, and they're not like an artist. That's not freedom then, is it? I'm almost glad that this video exists, because he made cases for why veganism makes sense, and then went, yeah, but fuck all that. Here's an ableist take for you. I want a world where you don't even have the freedom to do what you're passionate about. You gotta be good at it, man. He's one step away from justifying eugenics, like, legit. But thank you, Alex H. I'm glad that he convinced you to be ex-vegan, because he's very convincing,
But what does this have to do with the death of billions of sentient creatures? Surely their best use can't be to die. Well, let's look at that. If you're not gonna eat its flesh or drink its milk, what is the best use for a cow? It's hard to think of exactly how cows can be put to work for human society, which...
This is why this argument's so bad, because we're going to see why. It just leads to ableism. That's where it leads. And it's just painful when people are like, veganism is an ableist ideology. And then, actually, when you see the takes that people have, well, what is a cow good for anyway? Huh? Like, if I can't eat them, if I can't exploit them, if I can't have their babies taken away from them, if I can't treat them like less than shit, then, like, what does it matter? What can they do? An individual's value should be based upon what they do for me. Or sorry, society. Oh God. Oh Lord, help me now. Just take me away. I can't any longer. I've had enough of it. Yeah, he's convinced me to be a cannibal as well. Right.
Which is the only society that matters if you're not going to eat them. They can't exist just for their own sake. And
this is what's weird anyway, because even by this metric, cows wouldn't be serving society, right? Because if we look at it, they're actually detrimental to society because of how inefficient having them around, breeding them into existence, feeding them extra resources that we could have used, using extra land and water that we could have used. That is actually a detriment to society. So even if you're going to go down this route where you literally are just really ableist and, like, it's really concerning and stay away from me and we're swimming away. We're swimming away from the problematic behavior. We're just swimming, okay? We're leaving. Even then, if I were this way inclined, I'd just be like, okay, well, they're not of benefit to society. It doesn't actually serve society to eat their corpses because it's detrimental, because, it's fucking up the planet. So even then, it doesn't even make sense. This is of detriment to society. So suck my frog. Can we get some frogs in the chat? Thank you.
We can say the same for every human in society as well. If they exist, it has to be to serve others in some way. And ideally, they will serve in the best way possible.
No. No. Okay, there are some people who live their life in a bed and they can't get out. They're unable to move. There are some people who spend months doing that. And some people, by choice, they decide not to do anything. But look at this text. Oh, but I'm sentient. That means I get to be a lazy piece of shit, right? Oh, this is ableist behavior. This is just like blatant. Whoever does not work shall not eat. Whoever does work shall eat he who does not work. That, like, this is, like, he knows what he's doing. Just the facts. Just the facts. Just the facts that whoever does not work shall not eat. Oh, God. What about so, by this guy's standards, yeah, if you have a disability, fuck you, die, I guess? Oh, fuck you know. And like, oh, if you decide that you don't want to do X that I believe or that society believes that you're best suited to, again, fuck you, I guess. There's literally a book. Oh, please help me, right? I've read like half of it. It's this dystopian piece. It's really good. I never finished it. Where people are like assigned certain roles that they have to fulfill. It's not like Divergent, okay? It's like similar to Divergent, but it's like an older piece where these people, they have specific roles in society and they're not allowed to grasp out of that. I remember reading that and this is giving me those, wonderful vibes. I'm just getting really good vibes from this person. The vibes this person is not passing the vibe check. I'm just gonna say it right here, right now.
So viewed from this lens, their sentience is irrelevant. Just like all sentient beings, including all humans, they must occupy the most useful position for them in society. What if that involves pain? Well, lots of people in society have positions that involve pain, such as mothers, soldiers, and more. The fact is that...
Yeah, but the thing is, right, those roles that people are in typically are consensual. A cow has no say in that. A cow doesn't get to say. A cow can't. As you said earlier, you can't garner consent from these animals. So it's not analogous. It's this one, The Giver. There you are. I never finished it. So nobody... Hey, where have you gone? There we go. Are you seeing it? Yeah. Lois Lowry. That's it. I remember the name of the author, not The Giver is the story of a teenage boy, Jonas, who grew up in a utopia where everyone is content with their routines and colourless world, including Jonas. But all of his changes when he realised he's chosen to be the receiver of memory, a role where he is to know that all the others that are forgotten. So yeah, it's giving me those sorts of vibes, Okay.
More. The fact is that whether they're sentient or not, the best thing that cows, pigs, and sheep can do for us as a society is be eaten. They can aspire to be nothing greater than food.
They can aspire to be nothing. They have no say in this. You actual clown. What the fuck? Okay, like, it's just hard for me to engage with this in a way that takes you in good faith, because what you are conceding to being a possibility or acceptable is just abhorrent. Alright? It's just fucked.
And so that's what they should be. This allows us to completely sidestep several...
So yeah, just again, this whole... They should be this because an outcome is received by, I don't know, I don't know, he seems to put society on this kind of pedestal, right? Even though it's just confusing to me because it's not beneficial to society to inefficiently garner resources. Hello? It's not. Your society is not going to last very long if you fucking destroy the literal rock that we're on. Okay, you don't have a society without it. So I just don't know how this worldview makes sense whatsoever. Okay, never mind being just generally not fucking okay.
Counterarguments the vegans like to make to us filthy carnists. For instance, consider cats and dogs.
This is a filthy carnist.
The vegans ask us, how dare we eat such cute and innocent pigs when we decry the killing of cats and dogs? Well, the best use of cats and dogs isn't being eaten. They don't have a lot of meat relative to...
According to what? What? Like, neither does a chicken. A chicken doesn't have very much, like, flesh on them. Yeah, relative to their size, is probably what he's gonna go on to say. But that doesn't change the fact that chickens are small. Ducks are eaten, they're small. Like, you're gonna get more meat of some bloody dogs. Some breeds of dogs are massive. And look, it's just what he thinks their purpose is. Like they are used for food in other societies. This is weird as well. This doesn't even make sense. I just don't understand where he's coming from at all. But you know what? I'm kind of glad I don't, because what ableist taken coming, okay? As if we haven't had some already.
Their bones, after all, and they're very good at being companions, so naturally they occupy that role in the...
So are pigs, so are cows, so are chickens. They're really good. There are so many videos you could look up about how, you know, friendly and intelligent they are. They act just like dogs. So again, this does not hold up. They could fulfill that role. Maybe there is a chicken who fulfills that role. He thinks that. So based upon what we assign them, they can either be at our mercy or they can have their throats slit while they're hung upside down. This is just not... When people say stuff, they're reflecting what they want their world to look like. And the world that he's painting as an ideal is so not okay. I don't understand how he's woven this realm where he wouldn't be safe. Like, nobody would be safe. Let's not even get into the fact that his own argument makes him clearly immoral for not acting out his full potential as a paperweight. No. Oh, epic roast. No, Sarah, like, they should not be having cuddles and purring like cats, and they shouldn't be, like, being companions, because their role in society, right, what can they do if they're not eaten? They cannot aspire to be more than someone's frickin' cottage pie filler. Right? Bad example, because cottage pie is cows. But anyway.
Cow being the equal of a dog when it comes to home security. And now the vegans...
I'm sorry. If a dog were running at me versus a cow running at me, I know which one I'd be more afraid of, right? I've been charged by a frickin' bull and a cow. Scary shit. And again, why do they have to do these things to be worthy of their own lives? I'll never really get it. I'll never really understand. And I'm kind of glad that I won't.
Ask us, aha, so you would be okay with cannibalism? Well, no, humans are quite different from animals and their suffering isn't the same. If we kill a human, we lose its intelligence and its ability to contribute to society.
But what you're about to say shows that you don't really think that anyway. Because you say, no, we can't eat them. But what just the facts can we do with them?
And every human on the planet has a better use than cannibal food. Or almost every human. Aha, says the vegan.
Yikes.
So if there was a human that was mentally disabled or something like that, you'd be okay with eating them? Again, no. If they really can't contribute, then we can use them as organ donors, and their muscles will probably be more useful if science eats them than if we eat them.
Oh my god. It was painful the first time I heard it, but now it's just super not right. It's just super cringe. You're not okay. Need I proceed? When the guy's gone, oh no, it's different with humans though, because you lose so much more with a human, so I wouldn't eat them, but I would grind them up for science. This is why I said I'm almost glad that this video exists, though it's painful, and hurtful to hear someone say this. At the same time, I think it just makes the non-vegan argument look so bad. But unfortunately, there are people in the chat, in the comments section, who have said, thank you, you've given me arguments against the vegans. It's did you fucking listen to what he just said? I can't really believe that this exists. It is scary that there are likes, yeah, and it's scary that there are people who didn't even criticize that bit. I get that people don't watch full videos, but damn. Apparently, if you have a disability, you're only worthy of frickin' mush meal for science? Yeah, to be honest, man, it's true. They're setting, if people use this argument, and they often do, it sets a precedent that you have to hold some sort of disgusting view. Some sort of just abhorrent. You have to just, what have we had? We've had like recently, oh, you can just assume animals don't want to live, so we can kill and exploit dogs if we want to. We've had, morals are subjective. We can't discuss them. If people want to eat human babies, let them. We've had freaking as far as literally creating a Holocaust on the moon. Just what the fuck? So many of his fans agree with his stance, but wouldn't want it if imposed on them. Yeah, and it's all well and good if you're able-bodied, but I'm sorry, you got to think about it. Even if you're going to be the most selfish douchebag who just doesn't consider other people's. Oh my god!
Eugenics is the logical conclusion of carnism. At least Meat Brain 1 is mask off.
Yeah, this is very mask off. This is incredibly masked off. And thank you so much, Veggie Snooky, for your tip.
But what if there was a human soul that their organs weren't useful and they were also mentally infirm? Well, in that case, their meat probably wouldn't be any good and no one would want it. We could find a better use for it in, say, pig feed. And now the
pig feed? Oh my god. This fucks me off a lot, right? Because I worked in a hospital where there were a lot of old people who had disabilities, who weren't aware of what was going on, who weren't able to contribute to society, and this fucker would have them as pig feed. These are the sorts of people I just really hope I never come across, because that's scary, innit? That's a scary person. And as I was saying, right, you think, oh, this is fine and everything. Don't take your able-bodiedness for granted, because there's going to be one day where you might not be. You could be in an accident, something could happen to you, where suddenly you're suddenly blind, or you're hard of hearing, or you suddenly are paralyzed from the waist down, so you can't walk around, you can't contribute in the way that you seemingly are supposed to. Are you fit for science experiments? What if you're old and then now you're fit for pig feed? Oh my god, it's just pathetic.
The vegan perishes as he realizes that I was a better advocate for animal welfare than he ever was.
What? Yeah, I'm perishing right now. I'm perishing at the thought of people like you going around saying the things that you're saying. Concerning. Not good.
All told, the moral arguments of veganism appear sound, but have one giant Aristotle-shaped hole. We've not covered the other arguments of veganism, which also appear solid but have holes. For instance, the climate argument. It's true that cow farts are one of the biggest contributors to global warming.
This is the thing. Again, that's why this whole, it serves society for, cows to be ground up for burgers. It's does it really serve society to use an incredibly inefficient means? I guess you'll let us know.
But it's also true that you can feed them some seaweed and they're just fine. It's true that eating meat means you have more cholesterol, but...
Wait. So that's the only part of the... wait. It's not just the methane that's screwing up the planet. It's the deforestation that's due to having to make room for cattle, or the deforestation that it's to make room for soy to be grown, that's fed in up to 90% of that soy is going to those animals to feed them, like chickens, cows, pigs. It's as well as that, the transportation that's added on top of that. As well as that, it's the resources that they have to consume, all those crops, all that water. It's the ocean dead zones that they contribute to. All that fecal matter is really bad for the planet, really bad for direct environments. I'm sorry, it's not just freaking methane that we're looking at. And I don't know if you just wanted to get onto the next point and just left those bits out. But methane that's emitted from cows is only part of the massive problem that we have. Oh god.
You can manage this by exercising and avoiding junk food. But since these are vegans we're talking about, the concepts of exercising and avoiding junk food is basically unknown to them, as is clearly shown to us by the authoritative source that is /r/vegan circle jerk. The main moral argument of vegans...
Yeah, guys, I don't eat vegetables or go to the gym. Vegan self-jerk said so. I mean, look, I love a good cake, but I also love a salad.
Is that in order to sustain our meat-based diet, billions of animals have to die every year, but in the end, everything dies.
Oh my god, the worst argument ever. So do we. And you said, oh well, humans, they're more important, we lose more because they're more intelligent. But then there didn't seem to be a moral distinction when they couldn't contribute to society, because you were willing to use people with disabilities as, feed for science. And then if they were old and like had a disability, you were willing to have them used for pig feed. So I'm not really seeing this like morally relevant difference in your view, because you'd be willing to kill them and make a use of their corpses. So fucking A, we're all gonna die anyway. That wouldn't justify a rights violation being like acted upon us. This has to be a troll. This has to be like, this ain't right. This has to be a lie. I'm being lied to right now. I'm being fooled by the internet yet again. Okay, this is one of those Elwood's dog meat things, okay? Where like they say something so bad just to make the non-vegans look bad. This has to be. But to be honest with you, even if it is, even if I'm being bamboozled right now, I've had debates with tens of people who have also introduced this argument to me. Everything dies, guys, so you can go out and murder your neighbors, bro. 'Cause everything dies.
Every man, woman, child, pig, sheep, and cow will die no matter what you do. And the best that any of us can hope for is to live and die in the service of others.
Live and die in the service of others? What? But you were talking about individual freedom. What? Who is the other? What about this being of service to a cow? You haven't distinguished this difference between them and us that would justify a difference in treatment. It's to such a degree. So what about serving them? What about their societies? I don't get it, man. I don't understand. Maybe it's just because my brain's just so smooth, okay? And because I'm not a carnist, I haven't been absorbing all that B12 and those essential nutrients. I'm slowly dying off. This must be it. The weird thing is people in the comments took this video seriously, but it seems so trolly and fake. Yeah.
And therefore, modern livestock are far better off than they would be under vegan supremacy, and those are just the facts. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Man. So that was actual garbage. And I don't know how I may go on from this moment.